Hello my friends and welcome to maxdmcrafting. The community has spoken. Today we are gonna craft a middle townhouse. What is a middle townhouse? Something in between a small house and a big house. A middle townhouse. Crack on!
So this will be quite a long shot, so sit down, relax, take a beer, take a coffee, take something and try to survive through this, okay? First of all, I like to prepare my pieces with my Proxon, so I never had to stop the building process, so I tend to prepare a lot of pieces before. For the base, I used this time a piece of foam cord. Actually, I was planning on the piece, the dimension for the base of the house. This will be a townhouse, so the first floor will be entirely in stones, in bricks. It is actually quite easier, but with some inserting woods. So for the floor pattern, I like to use my pen and engrave it. For more dynamism, for a beautiful and better texture, I use the aluminum foil technique. But also I like to press a little bit some of the floor stones, so you give a more 3D feeling to the floor. Then I peel off the back part of the foam cord and I attach it to a piece of chipboard quite thick. This will give a lot of stability and strength to the base. For the walls, the trick is camouflage the junction, but in this case I'm using the blackmagicraft technique, so I will not make the wall visible inside, I will just make the floors, so I take care only of the exterior of the building. For the junction I'm using this technique, also you can see it in my windmill episode number 1 or 2, I don't remember, check it out. It consists in remove some of the bricks in the corner, and then after the junction is done with the glue, you put some bricks for made it. We will see this later on. For the door, I just take out a piece of foam that is actually 1 inch by 1.5 inch. It is actually the acceptable measure for the door. And with the classic technique, I'm creating a wooden door with some reinforcement in metal. When you use super glue on the foam, you risk to melt the foam, so never put super glue directly on the foam. I always put a drop of glue on the chipboard and then I just paste the pieces, so you don't melt your actual foam piece. For embellishment, I'm using this paper clip, and you see it's nice. Door is done. Now for the windows, I'm using this series of windows technique. So basically I'm creating, in this case, 5 identical windows. In this way I can create a lot of pieces that then I can use without losing extra time. So I'm working for the windows once and forever. I need 5 windows for this building, so I'm creating 5 serial windows. For the windows I'm using this plastic canvas. You can find the link, Amazon link, on the description box below. For this kind of work, Proxon is your savior, you know. You can do it also without a Proxon, but you need to check my tutorial number 4 so you can make slices of foam without a Proxon. For the wooden beam, I'm using always the same technique. Those are 7mm section beams. I'm using a metal brush for create a wooden grain. And then all around the building, I'm putting wooden reinforcement, wooden sustain that are actually typical of these half-timbered houses. With the Proxon I'm cutting the 5 windows, so I have 5 identical pieces ready to use. Then it's just a matter to remove a square in each wall, in each part I need a window, and then pushing in the window like that. Drop of glue and it's done. As you can see, I'm making the brick pattern. You can check my tutorial number 3 for my technique for creating interesting brick patterns on the pieces. And now, as you can see, the junction must be done, so we create actually holes for the bricks that we add, you see, very easily. Foam also is very flexible, you can press it inside and it's done. Nice. For adding some extra weight to the piece, I like to insert some big screws. Again, adding some reinforcement in wood. And now for the balcony and for the bigger upstairs, I'm curving actually the foam for obtain a beautiful arch effect on the wooden beams. I'm fixing basically one extremity with a nail and a drop of glue. This is a nice architecture touch. For the first floor, I need to create a wooden pavement, just tracing lines and creating wood grains, and we have a wooden floor. Since we are creating a building that don't have walls on the playable level, we will fix the floor directly on the walls, like that. Never forget the hidden wooden grains, or in these parts that are actually cutted, so you add always more realism if you finish all around your pieces in wood with a wooden grain. 3 sustained beams here, and some transversal beams. With a minimum effort you reach great results if you add these pieces. And again, for the balcony, curved wooden beams. There is not a specific rule for the number of beams that you put, but you need to find your taste and define the right way. Now, for the balcony, I'm using my foam cutter for engrave in several slices of wood the same design. And then I'm simply putting them together on a base, so yeah, we have a balcony. Nice, easy and effective. For these walls, you can also check my tutorial on half-timbered houses, check it on my videos. I like very much to use this surface from the foam for create the stucco effect. Here I'm creating, an overlapping window in wood for one of the sides. Sometimes it is easier just to put the stucco and then the timbered. And this is a mess. When I'm working on this kind of projects, time by time I need to stop and just to clean everything. Now I'm creating the roof parts from a template that I use usually for giving the nice curve to the roof. Yeah. And I have these windows from shiftylens.com. Those are part of windows. I like also to cut their parts and obtain different shapes. And then yeah, it is just a matter of your creation and just going on with some windows, beams. Very funny. I can start from the beams, so I'm using actually square section beams, or from the stucco, so then I add beams that are actually half sides, so the impression is that they are inside the wall and not just attached outside. Nice. And now I'm creating the chimney. There are a lot of styles. I like this, weird shaped chimney, and making this one was very funny actually. I like when you have multiple parts, and then I like also add this, little bits from Game Workshop. Nice. See, also this time I'm starting from the stucco. It is actually much easier. Then I touch the chimney and I finish the piece with beams and supports and stuff like that. Very, very easy. In this case, as you can see, I'm using half beams, so the impression is the same. And then again we put together. Now here I'm adding some reinforcement inside for two reasons. First of all, for make the piece more resistant, and second, because when you are painting these parts, it's useful have some handle inside to manipulate the piece during the painting process. Making a roof interesting is one of the most important part in a building process of a townhouse. I usually like to add some strange shapes and details for characterize every single house with a special roof. And basically all the time I try to make every single model as unique. And the roof is a beautiful way to make it possible. Here you will see how I create these two attic windows and also a little tower. In the painting process we will follow a couple of different ways. The first one is for actually create a dark, creepy Halloween house, and then from that point we will continue and we will finish the piece with a interesting color pattern for a beautiful townhouse. All this process is basically improvisational. I like to cut, glue, recut, reglue, and make and remake the same piece until I'm satisfied. Here you see how I just cut out the two windows because they were too much inclinated, too much diagonal respect to the ground. So yeah, you need not to be afraid to destroy your piece sometime. As you can see here, I also had some, resin casted pieces for block the first floor to the base. So this is the end of this first part, and actually we will dedicate the second tutorial specifically on the paint technique, because many of you guys ask me for paint tips and stuff like that. So we will follow all the paint process in detail on the next video. But this is the end of the part 1.
Okay guys, this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and if you very like this video, remember to subscribe to the channel. Till next time, happy crafting!